How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to a Skogok Mark. I'm Joe Price, and trying to stay warm behind the camera today is Ida Olsen.
Hello everyone. I have a water bladder in my jacket.
Pro tip and another video on the way. But we've just got a bit of a breeze rolling up off the hill here today. And I just thought I'd take a moment to sit down. As you can see, I have a beautiful assortment of these boys. Metal matches, ferrocerium rods. Some people call them flint and steels. They're not flint and steels, but again, in the nomenclature you might hear them referred to as flint and steels. But what they are is actually a great invention right here from Sweden, invented for use in the Swedish military for in environments like this, when dexterity and lighters and gases don't work at certain temperatures down there. This is the ingenious solution that they came up with. What it is it's a compressed rod of various ferro metals or ferrous metals, and it's mixtures of ferrocerium, magnesium, and as you can see, depending on the mixture that's in the ferro rods, they will give you different results when you go and strike them. So something to be a bit aware of if you're choosing one that works for you. But practice makes perfect, and ferro rods are always fun to practice. But this has several thousand strikes in it. It's practically indestructible except for moisture. If you do put these away wet, you'll get some pitting in them, and I'll show you some ways that you can watch your techniques and your forms moving forward with them. So we're going to get into this in-depth video, well, as in-depth as I can make it, about the metal match. So here we have an assortment of some of myself and Ida's ferrocerium rods or metal matches. Some of the ones that I prefer to use for classes, as you can see, these are my personal ones here, because I'm not a fan of using ones with handles. But I do love decorative pieces here. These are some custom made handles. We'll go through the advantages and disadvantages to the sizes later on, all the way down to some custom Sami pieces. There's a piece of fat wood attached to here, and you can see the difference between, you know, survival ones, handmade ones for decorative stuff that you like to have about the place, and mass-produced one. This is from Kapilka, and this is from Light My Fire. So let's get into what makes these ferro rods good. So here we have two of the common off-the-shelf ones that you might find in your local camping store. Both come with strikers, so it doesn't mean that you have to have a 90-degree spine on your knife, but a good redundancy. Some people choose to keep them, some people choose to leave them. Other strikers that you can make at home is old saw blades, old hacksaw blades, to give you that kind of purchase when you're working. I like the Light My Fire one. It just has this keep the spark alive thing on there. This was kind of the original ones, or the OGs, and Kapilka from Finland with their trademark recycled handles. This is coconut, this is recycled wood fiber and plastic. But the reason why I choose these ones is because these rods contain a lot more ferrocerium than magnesium. They're the two elements that you're going to be working with here. Choosing a ferro rod with an awful lot of ferrocerium in it gives you the advantage of being able to use smaller rods. So we'll put the Light My Fire one off to the one side here. So because this has more ferrocerium in it, you're able to get these short strikes. And this is why people sometimes get confused, and you'll see with the more heavier magnesium rods later on why. So you'll see the technique of stab and scrape. So when you stab, these heavy ferrocerium rods allow you to get these small, precise scrapes into your tinder bundle. Now, should your knife not have a 90-degree spine, say like your more companion straight off the shelf, you can use this bit up here. So at the end of your blade, when adding on the bevel, a 90-degree spine will always remain up near the tip here. So you can also use that in an emergency case if you have it. Avoid using the edge of your knife. You can, but if you're going to use the edge of your knife, use up near the tip, because this is the end that does all the work, so you don't want to go damaging that. But that's how you can spot a good ferro rod with plenty of ferrocerium, because you can get these short strokes and these hot sparks nice and direct to your tinder bundle. So here's my personal one with no handles. This is the one I use for classes and so forth. You can see it's starting to get this beautiful dip here in the side from all the big power strikes. But this is what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes when you hold your knife, you can get this thing called washboarding, kind of like those old things you used to wash clothes with. And that comes from your knife skipping down the rod. You know, boom, 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 boom. And that can be a sign of improper technique or a really, really soft rod, which is what this one is, and that's why I like it. The reason why this rod is so soft is because it contains a lot more magnesium than the heavy ferrocerium rods, and you can see how you can spot that now. So what you got to do is come further up the rod and give these bigger draws. That should get you to light. And also you can tell there's a lot more magnesium in this because you're getting these bigger chunks, and that's what that magnesium is, it's catching. So you can see you get these hot chunks of molten lava, which you don't normally get when you use the smaller, heavy ferrocerium rods. You just get these quick burns that come off it there. So magnesium heavy rods, just something to watch out for. I prefer them personally, but each to their own choice, and that's what this video is about. So there you go, that's the ferrocerium rod metal match, not flint and steel. Remember that moving forward. And also I hope it shows you, or I hope it demonstrates, that not all ferro rods are made the same, and finding one that works for you is all the fun about it. You got the heavy ferrocerium rods and you got the heavy magnesium rods, but both serve a purpose.